And welcome back, everybody, to another episodes of All the Mods 10. This is Undisturbed Potato, and we left off last episode talking about how we were planning on getting into mechanism and mystical agriculture. However, I kind of forgot that mystical agriculture can be a little bit of a tedious job to get into. Just because we do have to make the Master Infusion crystal, just because it is unlimited and we don't want to keep making these crystals after 500 uses every single time. Not to mention, once we do get this set up, we do have to make a sorting system to get it all set. So the main focus this episode is to get our mystical agriculture farm done. So what I have done in the off time is dig out a little area where we're going to be making this. Right now it's just a simple 9x9 with a water in the center, nothing fancy. I did create a little plot so we do have holes in between each one, and the main reason for that is because we do want our mystical agricultural crops to grow fast so that we can stack the resources, because we will be using quite a ton of it throughout the series. And if you know, or I do plan on making builds, so I am gonna need tons of stone. After all, I'm already going through it like crazy with our little build that we're trying to get to. So for a little quick sneak peek as to what I've been doing offline for the build, so far it hasn't really been too much. I kind of just flattened this area, mined out whatever the builder didn't mine, placed down a little bit of blocks. I was gonna try terraforming it better, however, I thought this was decent. So we have this nice raised platform, we have this all flattened, we got dirt all placed, and so this is now prepped so that we can actually start building on it. And if we look down here, we can see that I did leave all this empty. I do plan on putting a few mega torches down here, and then I think I'm gonna set up our applied energistic system and start moving our machines over, just because this is gonna be our main area once we do have this completely built, and we're gonna be expanding over here. So I am excited to announce that we are ready to start moving things, getting into applied energistics, which means we will start to be able to produce or automate some processes. I know some of you guys have been mentioning in the comments how we do want to automate things, and what are the best ways of making some auto smelters and whatnot. So we will be getting into that when we do move over there, because right now I kind of don't have an auto smelter, just because whenever I do need something smelted, the netherite furnace does a really good job. And thanks to one of you guys mentioning down in the comments how this can be used to smelt things, I moved the furnace over here just because that generator was hardly even putting in any work once we got this reactor set up. So thank you once again for that. I have no clue why I didn't think of that. And so with that, let's get back into mystical agriculture. So I have quite a few things listed over here on this side that we do want to make and get set up. So for the farm itself, of course, we're going to want these different seeds. That's obvious, but we're going to want a way to be able to harvest it. And the way we are going to do that is by using pylons. The harvester pylon is pretty cool because you can set the radius. I do not remember what the max radius is on. Oh yeah, the 9x9. So it'll cover this whole plot, which is very useful. All you have to do is put a hoe inside of it, and it'll use that to get the job done. So since it is going to be using the hoe and it's going to use the durability like crazy, we do want something that is unbreakable. So I have prepared a diamond hoe ready for upgrade. I have some of the materials up here to set up the farm. And so first we're going to make it into a netherite home, and then we're going to toss it in with the aluminium template and ingot, and just like that we have an unbreakable aluminium hoe. So that takes care of that issue. The other choice to use besides this aluminium hoe would have to be the supremium one, because the supremium tools are also unbreakable, as well as the awakened supremium. So either or using this, those are very good options. Okay, so let's get this made real quick. Shouldn't be too hard since we have quite a bit of materials now, since we are, I think, I don't know, would you guys consider this the mid stages or still early game? Because technically we don't have automation set up, so I don't know. But yeah, we can just place this here. I do not know if that water disappeared. Nope. Okay, cool. So all you have to do is toss this in here, and then you will have to set this to 9x9 for it to actually get everything. But first we do want to till the land. I don't know why I just didn't do it beforehand. Since we have the water, it should just become moisturized or become more fertile. I don't know. You can see the difference. And I think I got everything, so let's put this back in here. And so the fun begins with this crafting journey. We are also going to want this red fertilizer, just because when you do place it on the farmland, it will speed up the growth of the crops placed on it. I do think that when you do make one of these plots and you go with this setup where you have the dirt right next to it automatically, compared to the other way where the dirt would be here, you would have 45 plots that you could use, which is pretty nice. Honestly, I do not know what the number is the other way around. And so like that, we have put all the fertilized farmland, and the next step we do want to do is to put down our crystal resonant generator and our growth accelerators. Wow, I don't know why that was harder than it should have been, but to do that we can do this, where put the accelerator down and then generator underneath, because this part has to be connected to the generator for it to be turned on. So what I will do is shift right click with building gadget, so that at every single one of these little spots we can fill it in how we want it. Alright, now that we have put the growth accelerators on top of all of those, all the devices are online, so if we were to plant something right now, it would be increased in speed. Yes, the outside does not have any more accelerators, and that's just because our resources are a little tight right now. I do have a few extra, however, I'd rather hold off and save it, just because I do like making two little plots like this and fill them up with all the seeds. And so if I could just save these for the next plot, I will do so. And then by the time we are working on the second one, we should have plenty of resources to actually go around and put some more, just to speed it up just a little bit more. And so just like that, we have finished making this field as fast as possible. Next thing I would like to work on is our storage. And for that, we are going to be using a few little different things. Okay, let's get rid of the pylon. We don't need that anymore. And the fertilizer. So, to be storing the essences that we will be getting from the farm, we will be utilizing functional storage. And to do so, we're going to need one controller. We're going to need the configuration tool, the linking tool, and quite a few of these 2x2 framed drawers. You could go with normal drawers of any wood type you'd like, but the reason why I'm going with framed is because I do want a little design, just because I do want to be able to see which items are where pretty clearly. And when you do this, I do put a little white background here just so I could see the item pretty clearly. As for the outside, I usually go with a darker color just so it helps me see said items better. So let's start making some of these guys. Alright, just like that, we made quite a few frame drawers and we made the storage controller. Alright, and just like that, we made our little storage controller. We made a few frame drawers. This might have been overkill, but that doesn't really matter as of right now. And to get this design, if you are following what I am doing, I am using skystone for the outside and white wool. You could use any material you want to be able to look at what design you are making. All you have to do is put the frame drawer, put one of the materials up top. This will be the outside. You put the next material right next to it. This will be the front face that you interact with. And if you want to edit the lines up front, you can put it right here and that'll change the little cross. However, I really don't care about that. I just want these to be as visible as possible. And so with that, we will put our storage controller a little farther out. I think this is about a good distance away. The reason why I did this is just because I want to put the drawers along right here, and I do have something that I need to set up with this controller. Alright, I decided to move the storage controller over here instead, and so here you can switch the modes of the linking tool, and then here all you have to do is right click and you're able to lock or unlock these things. Okay, and so once you right click the storage controller with your linking tool, you're able to go ahead and come over here and link specific drawers. So I did switch it to link multiple, and then all you have to do is click over here, and then you could add some more just like that. And if you want to check if they're actually linked, you can come over here to the storage controller with your configuration tool, right click on it, and it should be able to lock all these drawers. And so now if you have a system that is connected to this, you can store materials through this controller. But if you want to do that, you will have to manually set each little spot. So now that we have this set up, we want to set up a way to get our materials from here to over here. And to do that, we're going to be utilizing two different things. So as you guys see, the things that I have or am utilizing might be familiar, and that's because I am following the same setup from Chosen Architect's video. His playthrough has helped me, and I'm pretty sure tons of you guys out when playing All the Mods 10. So let's start crafting this up. And so just like that, we have crafted up our factory manager, our dimensional chest, the label gun so we could set our input outputs, and then the program disk, which will run the program that allows us to set these inputs and outputs so that we can finish up our little setup. So regarding dimension chests, all of them are usually set to frequency 1. However, I do like setting my own frequency, and I like setting it at 101. That's usually what I start off with, and then I'll increase it by 1 or 2 depending on how I'm feeling. So just like that, these guys have been set to frequency 101, so if we put the torches here, we can see them over here, which is pretty nice. But yeah, now that you have your dimensional chest, all you have to do is put one on top of your pylon, and then you just put the other one wherever you want it. In our case, we're going to be putting it right here. And then with our factory manager, we're going to put it right in the center. And then here comes the fun part. You're going to put your disk inside, and then the disk allows you to set the program, which if you come over here to view examples, you could see all the different ones that are available. If I were you and you were trying to set up different setups that might be more advanced, and or if you have some knowledge about code and how it could work, this will help you create your own code slash modify these guys to be able to do things how you want it. However, we're just going to be using this simple program here, which basically just says we're taking from A and putting it in B, and that's it. So we're going to put done, and now that we have that selected, this will now have a little runtime where it's checking every single time. But we do need to first click here. Whoa. And then here we could set A, which our input is going to be this chest, because this chest is going to be receiving items from our farm. And then we're going to want to set our B, which is the output. So we're going to be taking things from A, putting it to B, which will then store our items for us. And just like that, we have created the storage solution to our little farm. And this guy just always in the way. Come on, get away. Nice. Always fun to smack him around every time he spawns. If you do get annoyed with him, there is a carpet just for the trader that will force him to spawn at this block. So if you really don't like him, you could set up a little farm that'll automatically take him out as soon as he's brought into the world. It's cruel, but sometimes it is necessary. So for the next item on our agenda, it is to set up our mystical agricultural little altar so that we could start making these seeds. But first, I think we should get the pain out of the way and start with trying to make this master infusion crystal, where to start it off you gotta make the normal crystal. And so to make this, we are gonna need 4 supremium essences, not to mention the 2 that will be required to make the gemstone. In total, you're gonna need 6. So the gist is, you take infernium, you put it in this pattern, make it into prudentium, and then you basically repeat this process until you get to supremium, which, if you want to do the math, all you have to do is times 4. So this would be 4, 16, a stack, then 256 per. So not too crazy, but it is a little time consuming. So I will work on this, and then I'll be back when I have the master infusion crystal. Good news is that it takes just 2 of these normal infusion crystals to be able to make enough supremium to make the master infusion crystal. So the waste of resources is rather low, and that took about maybe 200 inferium blocks, so roughly 1800. So if you just set up a builder over in the mining dimensions, set the radius to like a 3x3 chunk that you want to mine out, you should get enough inferium through that to be able to set this up. I am going through this mod pack at my own pace, not trying to rush through things, not necessarily trying to progress every single time, just having fun and trying to figure out new processes with the different mods. So that's just a little reminder of what I'm doing. But if you do want to be more efficient, you want to do a speed run of sorts, there are various things that you could have done beforehand. And or as you watch the series, there might be things that I take a while to do that you might want to implement right away. And by all means, go ahead. We're here to have fun, and let's get this show on the road. So now that we have this, we don't really care on crafting too much, because now we could just do blocks at a time, which is awesome. Had no clue you could do that until I watched Chosen Architect. So make sure to check out his videos if I don't explain things well here. And then what I do want to do is make these guys, because we are going to want to set this altar up to start making the seeds. And let's see if my brain works. And it does. We need one of these because the altar will need a redstone signal to tell the pedestals to mix everything or to combine everything to make said seed. So it's just easier to have a redstone block underneath. So once you do have everything needed, it automatically combines it. And because we don't want to be walking up to each pedestal and right clicking each one to make the seeds, we will be utilizing modular routers because this is a way to automate this in some sort of capacity. So let's make a few of these. We are going to want 2 distributor modules. There we go. We got 2 distributor modules. We are going to want 1 sender. And to finish all off, we are going to want 1 puller module. And just like that, we have all the modules we're going to need and everything else. Alright, so I decided to clear out a small little area and place it right here. So what we're going to want to do is put down our block of redstone, put the infusion altar right here, and just like that, it's going to give you the little shadows or projections of where you're going to want to put these pedestals. Just like that, nice and easy, nothing too crazy. And this is the fun part where it kind of becomes automated, but not really. So you could put this however you want. However, I'm just gonna do this where I'm gonna create a little cross like that, just from my perspective. And we're gonna put 4 routers. And then we're gonna get the puller module. We're gonna right click right here because when the crafting is done, we do want to pull the completed seed into the router. And just like that, you don't have to set anything up. It's basically saying, okay, I'm gonna pull from here and we're gonna put it right here, closest to when we show up. As for the one at the very front, we are gonna want to set the sender module. So all you gotta do is right click there and it's basically telling it that it'll send whatever item you put here to the middle. As for the 4 pedestals, that's basically gonna be for these items. You could set it however you want. However, I'm gonna just do this, select these 4, and I'm gonna put it right here in the left side. As for the other 4, I will be setting it to the right side. And just like that, you have it all set up. So when you do have the materials, all you have to do is put it and it'll automatically craft it. And then you can just grab it back. And so like that, I just made a few of these little crafting materials needed for the seeds and organized it just because I don't want to bore you guys to death with crafting all of them. I'll do a small little time lapse of crafting basically all the elemental slash tier 1s that we need. And then as for the other ones, I will be crafting them offline. But if you are curious as to what I am making, so I will be hovering over each one of them real quick, just so you guys can see what I plan on making, which seeds do what. Some of them I do not have all the materials, but they are on my mind. So I will be keeping them on the left just so that I know what I need, because they are going to play quite a vital role at some point in the near future. There are a few seeds that I did not include on this list that I do plan on making at some point, but that just depends on if I have enough resources, and some of them do have a process to make to get there. So when I do make those seeds, I will let you guys know. In the meantime, enjoy the little time lapse of making these few seeds, and then I'll be back when I have crafted up everything that I wanted to. So just like I said, this is going to be pulling out the completed product. Here we're going to be sending things, and we're going to be wanting to send the prosperity seed base. It's for the center. So here we're just going to shift click all of them It's automatically going to put it. Over here, we're going to put the inferium. And then on the right side is when we're going to be putting the materials and have it alternating. As you can see, there's a small little red laser. And as soon as it's done, it's going to automatically collect, combine, and pull it back out this way. Make sure you put these modules in the proper spot. You didn't see that. And so just like that, after a good while of utilizing the little area up there, we have crafted quite a few seeds. These are all the seeds that I went with. There are a few that I have yet to craft, just because I don't have the resources to do so, such as the honey seeds, just because I haven't been harvesting any honey or anything of sort, so I cannot make that one yet. All the modium, vibranium, and unobtainium do require insanium blocks. We are nowhere near having enough inferium to be able to make this. I think when I was crafting as much as possible, I got 1 block max, so it's gonna be a little while before we're able to do this, which kind of makes sense just because the resources required to make this is kind of pricey. Even though we kind of used fortune to cheat our way into having quite a lot of it, it is going to be a little while before we make that. So I will plant them from least important to on the outside to more important in the areas where they're surrounded by forest, because those should grow a little bit faster. So with everything said and done and everything planted, we are starting to get quite a few resources in here. You might be asking how come it's not getting automatically put into our storage system, and that's because we haven't set that up yet. Also, I only managed to put down 2 inferium seeds. Turns out I made a lot more seeds than I realized. So we'll just grab a stack of these guys and put it in. So sulfur, some essence, amethyst, dye. You know, it would help if you push the labels to the manager so it can start stacking the things once you set it, because I was pretty confused for a moment. And now this kind of helps us see what is left over and does need to be put up. And just like that, basically everything in here is now getting put away, which is awesome. All right, just a little tip: if your plants are not growing, it is because there is not enough lighting. I did not know that played a factor into these guys growing or not, so just a little warning. Make some lights, put them all around so that everything is exposed and can grow. Because yeah, that had me kind of confused. I was wondering what happened to some of these elements. Okay, now that everything is working, we can always just come up and we can easily see how much is stored in each one. One downside is some of these produce way more than the others. So to fix the cluttering problem, all we have to do is make some of these upgrades, which aren't too expensive, but just be ready. But just like that, getting everything set up and done just so we can start automating resources, it took us quite a while. But now that we're here, things are gonna get easier and we're gonna be progressing faster and faster, especially when we get to make all the other different seeds, and that's just gonna keep compounding like crazy. So within this episode, we set up our mystical agriculture farm. We set up the little storage for it, which is automatically putting everything together. I haven't upgraded all of them, so I will be doing that offline. I will be working on the main castle, but I think I am going to start working on the inside in that bottom area, light it up and start setting up an applied energy system and slowly start migrating over there. Because once everything is over there, then we'll be able to hop into applied energistics and start making some automated processes, which is going to help us in the long run. And if you guys struggle with applied energistics and setting up the providers and interfaces and whatnot, I will do my best to explain it and so that we could get that all done. So if you guys enjoyed the episode, make sure to go down, drop me a like, and if you guys are enjoying the series, let me know down in the comments. If you have any questions, concerns about anything, just let me know. If it's about a certain mod or a certain system or what we are going to be using or why I did something, just ask. I will do my best to respond to you guys. Just so you guys know, I am pre-recording ahead of time, so sometimes it might be a little off just because I am going on vacation in a few weeks, so I wanted to make sure I have all this recorded and done for you guys while I'm away. But I will be looking at the comments, so you guys can always just interact with those videos and I will be down there talking with you guys. If you guys haven't already, please subscribe. That helps me and our channel out. Not to mention, if we could get this out to more people, that'll help us grow and bring more people along with us in our journey. And so with that, guys, thank you guys for watching. Until next time, peace.